The fig. Bearing perspective. The fig is mentioned in Quran chapter 95. In fact, chapter 95 of the Quran is named At-Tin, the fig, with 8 verses and 34 words. Surah At-Tin mentions the Mount Sinai and the secure city of Mecca in its 2nd and 3rd verse. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings from western, minus 34.3545 degrees, and eastern, minus 36.251 degrees, boundaries of the Haram to Jabal Musa is 0.94825 degrees, approximately equal to 0.95 degrees. Jabal Musa, along with Jabal Serbal and several other mountains, are candidates for Mount Sinai, by the fig and the olive, and Mount Sinai, and this secure city of Mecca. At-Tin 95 verse 1-3. Long before a more established tradition focused solely on Jabal Musa, Mount Serbal, also located in the southern part of the Sinai Peninsula, commanded the attention of some early Christian communities. From approximately the 4th to the 6th century CE, certain Christian pilgrims and scholars considered Serbal to be the most likely candidate for Mount Sinai. Although it was eventually superseded by Jabal Musa in popularity, Serbal's historical claim is notable as it represents one of the earliest focuses of devotion within the peninsula itself. Like much of the Sinai region, the environment around Mount Serbal is intensely dry and rocky. As time progressed, tradition shifted and firmly took root at Jabal Musa, or Mount Moses, also situated in the southern Sinai Peninsula. This towering granite peak has become the most enduring and continuous candidate for Mount Sinai. Its prominence solidified remarkably from the early Christian era, particularly from the 4th century CE onwards, culminating in the construction of the iconic St. Catherine's Monastery at its foot by the 6th century. The environment surrounding Jabal Musa is also a quintessential harsh and arid desert. Its landscape, marked by striking rock formations and sparse desert vegetation. While Jewish textual tradition does not specifically point to a single geographical location for Mount Sinai, the event of the giving of the Torah is the single most central moment in Jewish history. The presence of fig, Ficus carica, and olive, Olea europea, trees in the vicinity of Jabal Serbal and Jabal Musa has been noted by researchers studying the ecology of the southern Sinai Peninsula. Both species grow in these regions without evidence of historical cultivation, suggesting they are native to certain microclimates in the mountain valleys. Exact bearing, direction. Calculations use rounding to 4 decimal places, both by fig, olive, Sinai, Mecca. The result is rounded to 2 decimal places, direction to Sinai from Mecca. Haram to Jabal Musa. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings from Mikhat in the western and Masjid Hudaybiyah, northwest, and eastern and Masjid Girona, northeast, of the Haram to Jabal Musa is found by calculating the difference between the two bearing values, minus 34.6067 and minus 36.6005, and then dividing that result by 2. The half-span of the angle is 0.9969. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings from the western boundary of the Haram near the main gate and its eastern boundary in Rashidiyah to Jabal Musa is calculated by finding the difference between the two bearing values, minus 34.3545 and minus 36.251, and dividing that result by 2. The half-span of the angle is 0.94825 or approximately 0.95. Haram to Jabal Serbal. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings Mikhat in the western and Masjid Hudaybiyah, northwest, and eastern and Masjid Girona, northeast, of the Haram to Jabal Serbal is found by calculating the difference between the two bearing values, minus 35.701 and minus 37.5975, and then dividing that result by 2. The half-span of the angle is 0.94825 or approximately 0.95. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings from the western boundary of the Haram near the main gate and its eastern boundary in Rashidiyah to Jabal Serbal is calculated by finding the difference between the two bearing values, minus 35.4088 and minus 37.2537, and then dividing that result by 2. The half-span of the angle is 0.92245. In a chapter known as At-Tin, a number came to rest, its essence captured by a precise tally of 157 letters. The half-span of the angle formed by the bearings from western, minus 34.3545 degrees, and eastern, minus 36.251 degrees, boundaries of the Haram to Jabal Musa is minus 0.94825 degrees. A hidden harmony, much like the precise bearing between two distant points, was discovered within the digits 94825. When these values were brought together in a specific arrangement, they converged on a single, powerful sum. The final total stood as a silent testament to a precise, cosmic connection that resolves to 157, 94 plus 48 plus 8 plus 2 plus 5.